All right, thanks for joining on our Tuesday night training. Even if you're sick, I appreciate it. And we're all in our
Mhm.
SFR hangovers. Um, so I thought it would just be kind of fun to go over like what we learned this week, a takeaway you may have, something you learned, something that maybe was like a light bulb moment to you. I had one on the night we were all at the pool that last night. I was talking to one of my friends, one of my superstar director friends, and I hadn't caught up with her yet. And I was asking her how her business was going, and she had just recently moved. So she moved to a whole new town, like a couple hours away. She lives in Iowa. And she said, what saved my business with moving to a new area is I got put in a like women's group. So it's just like I can't remember what she said it was called, but it's just a group of women who organize get-togethers to do something once a week. And it's a Facebook group. And they'll literally write on there, I think it's called like Women of something Iowa, like wherever the town she lives in. And they'll be like, all right, we're gonna go to sushi on Tuesday at such and such restaurant, cap limit 10 people. And the organizer will post it on there, comment to sign up, comment to join us, and then once it caps at 10 people, then they say, okay, this event is full. Then somebody else will say, hey, coffee at Starbucks at this location, come if you want to come, whatever. And she has gotten a ton of business from that. So she joined this women's group. And what kind of like was a light bulb for me, I'm like, well, I need to find something like this. And if it doesn't exist, you could make one. You could create it, right? Like, you could create a group like that in your town, or you could create it with, like, close friends that you already have, and then it could organically grow. She said she had a girl from that group, because obviously you talk to people, you meet people, it's building your network, and then, she had a party for one of them, $1,000 party. They showed up at a where did she say they had it? Oh, at a bar. She's like, "We just went to a bar and had drinks and appetizers. I brought my testers, and she said they were ready to go. They all love Scentsy, but they didn't have a local consultant. And she said she sold $1,000 in 3 hours, $1,000 party. So I was like, wow, that got my mind going. I'm like, that's really cool. Like you could totally build something like that if you didn't have it already. And and I was talking to another friend of mine, Whitney, um, Michaela Whitney was telling me that she does bunko nights. I've never personally played bunko, but I know it's very popular and a lot of people play bunko with groups of friends. Um, and she said that's been huge for her business. She's organized bunko nights, and then what happens is like you play bunko at different, and then you just like take turns playing at different people's houses. And she said it's huge because when they come to her house, of course, they walk in, oh my gosh, it smells good in here. Look at those cute warmers. Look at this, look at that. Organize a bunko night. I was thinking about maybe starting that. How about book clubs? Stuff like that. It just got me thinking about all these ways. I had a little pool date today with one of my girlfriends and her kids, and I was telling her how I'm looking to earn this trip. I'm really want to get outside my comfort zone, do more events this year, really get my name out there. And she's like, "Oh, have you heard of?" I'm gonna say the name of the place. Because I thought it was super cute, and I just wonder if you look up in your area if something like this exists. The one here is called Coffee Clubhouse. So this Coffee Clubhouse is in Grand Rapids, right near me in Caledonia. Didn't even know it existed. It's a it's called, or their thing says Sip, Save, or Play, an indoor and outdoor play area, cafe and eatery for kids and their caregivers. So it's just this cool little area. These two moms founded it, and you go and you have coffee and your kids play. And what a great way to network. And I come to find out, she goes, oh, and they do these monthly events. Obviously, my kids are too old for something like this now, but it's something that I want to pursue. So they have monthly, they're called sip and shops. You come in, you get your coffee, and then you can shop around with different vendors. I emailed them. I said, do you take direct sales? They said, no problem. I looked at the list of people who have been there, not one direct sale person, and they've been doing these events for a few months now. I'm going to do the August one. I think it's like 40 bucks. I'll spend 40 bucks to be in front of a bunch of women in my age group, my target audience to they're going to love Scentsy. They're going to be wanting something for their home, and it's probably a great recruiting area. And then I can sell there too because it's not retail. I mean, technically it's sort of retail, but it's an event, so I could sell there. So yeah, I just thought of like all those things have been like in my mind lately that have been like light bulb moments where if it doesn't exist, create it. So I'm thinking about trying the Bunko thing or like starting my own book club or something like that and just trying to like network and meet more people. So that was some of my little nuggets that I took. So I thought we could go kind of through the list of people who are on. And everybody who's on, I believe, at least participated virtually or in person. So if you guys just want to say what you took away from it, how about you say your favorite part of SFR and a nugget you took away that will help in your business? Does that make sense? Do you care if I start with you, Caitlin, and go down, or am I putting you on the spot if I make you go first?
No, you're not putting me on the spot.
Okay.
Um, I think the biggest takeaway, and I have kind of posted about this too, but just like how welcoming everybody was. It was my first SFR, so I was a little bit nervous, but everybody was just like so welcoming. And I mean, I shared a bed the first night with like my roommate who I didn't even had never met before. I didn't feel uncomfortable at all. Like everybody was just so sweet, and it just makes me so happy to know that we're so supportive of each other, and just want to see each other do well. So just like it just was so cool to like meet all you guys and feel like I've known you guys for so long. So I feel like the biggest takeaway was like the community part of it and just how awesome that is. I would say as far as learning, kind of what you just talked about, Beth, is just like thinking outside the box. Like today, I dropped off a fragrance flower to one of our local realtor businesses, and put my business cards in there because a lot of times, realtors will give like little housewarming gifts to their buyers. So I just dropped that off because that was who we used when we bought our house. So I dropped that off there. And I'm actually starting to kind of like reach out to some of my friends who are local for parties, just because I never really reached out to them and asked them if they would be willing to do that. So I just booked my first in-home party with somebody from my Bible study group. So it's just kind of like thinking outside that box, like you said, and just creating those ideas and running with it. So that's definitely the biggest takeaway.
I love that. And like you just said, Bible study group, what another great opportunity.
Hmm.
So my
Yeah.
church that we aren't members of it, but we've been going for a few years and we want to get more involved. So I'm thinking that too can be awesome for me in the fall because I want to like get involved in our
Hmm.
girls ministry program, and I think that that would be super awesome. And like you meet these people and you want to give them a little gift and you just give them a scent circle, or you it's just like the little things, the little touches you can do for people. Um
Hmm.
Especially in your ministry group, like say you got a bunch of rewards sometime when you go to your Bible study or whatever, you can just be like, hey, I have a little something for you guys. Maybe they never knew you sold
Good
Scentsy.
idea.
Maybe it's a great way for it to come up without like putting it in someone's face too, you
Hmm.
know? So I love that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, how about
Yeah.
you, Harmony?
Sorry, I had to figure out how to take the mute off. Um, I really loved the soundbite. I liked listening to all the different speakers and like the stories. I like that, one lady in, 2 years, like gung ho made it up. And there's the ones that, they've been in for 8 years and took them 4 years to start. I liked all the different stories. A lot of them talked about do what's best for your business and what you need to do. Um, for me, that was really inspiring to know that, I know I've taken a year to even get my first teammate, but I'm really excited now that I have a teammate and I really want to look at the incentive and I want to grow. And I got a lot of inspiration from that. Um, the big thing that I really loved hearing about was the club membership. When they talked a lot, like during general, even they talked about the lady who you ask every single customer and if they want a club, do the mock cart with the club. I want to try doing that. I think that's an awesome idea. And I've never I only have like one or two clubs, so I really want to build that, try to figure out how to get that reoccurring PRV. So that was a big thing for me learn new ways to push things.
That's awesome. Yeah. I heard a snippet of um oh gosh, now I'm blanking on her name. She's a SSD out of Florida. We didn't hear her training in person because you were in my soundbite group, Harmony, I think. Yeah, we were in there
Yeah.
together. But maybe I missed her. Was who was your Sensi Club? Do you remember who your Sensi Club person was that chatted in the sound bites? Because I missed the first few. Katie Farner?
Um,
Was it Katie Farner? Was she really like cute and blonde?
Yes, I think.
Okay. So I
that sounds
remember
familiar.
hearing a snippet of hers, and I wonder if you're referring to when she said, somebody gives you an order for a six pack, and you say, I would love to order that for you, but can I also give you the option of just getting 10% off on a special, in a special that I have or something like that, like forming the conversation like that? Is that ring a bell of how she talked about club?
It is. Yeah, she talked about basically like, here's your order for six. Hey, if you set it up as a club, you can get 10%. You can earn this 50% off. And you'll know for sure in 2 or 3 months, if you love this scent, you're still gonna be able to get it. And then, maybe one or two you really weren't sure of. Now you can try something new and get it on a reoccur.
Yeah. I love that. Like, and that's something
Me
that
too.
it's almost like we just need like, yeah, that's a good idea, and we probably kind of thought about it, but like just getting that reminder from somebody else, like this actually works. And it's almost like the
Yeah.
idea sometimes where we always say, sometimes you got to make, which is hard, and I've never really done it, but some people say, you don't have to sell party sponsor. Why don't you start with the joint opportunity first, which is difficult, but if you do that, sometimes you can be like, "Hey, are you interested in joining?" "No, I don't really want to join right now. It's just not for me." "Okay, do you want to have a party?" And then maybe they'll say yes to a party. And if they say
Yeah.
no to a party, then maybe they say yes to just buying right now. So like kind of like flip-flopping the Sensi Club language, and like I don't want to make money on just a random order. I want you to get a discount and start with the club. So it's just, I think some people need to get over. I know a lot of my customers, I've been preaching about it for years, but some of them still like think there's something hidden, which our club's pretty awesome because there's no hidden anything in club, which is great. Like you can cancel, you can do whatever you want. So thank you. I think those are great tips. How about you, Holly?
I think my biggest takeaway is stepping out of your comfort zone. Me and Janelle went to the expos, which are really good. And it's kind of bringing back to what you were saying, Beth, that uh, you could do any kind of parties. The girl in there was saying that she did like sourdough party, and she did like 3 flowers, and then she gave each girl a starter, and then they made bread. And so then I got to thinking of like what I could do, going to there's a Brooklyn bagel place that here by me that has like a little small place that I'm going to set up eventually, um towards the beginning of August, depending on how I feel. But I think that's my biggest takeaway, is stepping out of your comfort zone. And I brought back, I was talking to Beth about this. There was a girl who talked to me about joining a SFR, um on possibly on Friday. Well, she had told me that she's had some failed businesses. Um and I've really been sitting down thinking about like how I can help her and trying to be a leader there.
I love that. Yeah. And there's just another reminder. So many people have failed in other businesses and then they're very successful in Scentsy. I'm not saying Scentsy's for everybody, but a lot of times it works. So, all right, how about you, Bailey?
Well, see, I have pregnancy brain, so I can barely remember a lot, but my favorite thing is always the community. I feel like we all get along so well too, and it's so nice to be around, like a lot of other people who love the same thing. But my biggest thing that I always like to remember is if things feel hard, just take it back to the simple. You don't have to make things so complicated. And also, like, I know a lot of us are wanting to earn this trip, so you have to start, front loading your calendars now. So definitely start booking those parties, because the more that you have booked now, it's going to be easier to work this fall. Like, you don't want to be rushing when that gets here and struggling to find those parties when you can be doing it now. You have to ask people. You can't just like hope for the best. You literally have to be reaching out to people individually, asking them if they want to party, because that's the only way that's going to help front load your calendar. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And it's such a good reminder, because who wouldn't rather be feeling good come November, December than like struggling and freaking out in December, or I'm sorry, January, and just like running like crazy trying to earn this incentive, when you can front load now, have your months huge when we know our sales are going to be big, and then you're going to set yourself up for success. So I love that. All right, how about you, Deborah?
To get me off of mute there. I really can't pinpoint any one thing of SFR. Um, the whole thing was just amazing. Sorry, I absolutely, ever since my first one, I'm like, I'm never gonna miss another one, because I remember my first one, I had such stinking thinking. I thought, this is ridiculous amount of money. I could save this money and instead buy the new products when they come out. And boy, was I wrong. I never want to miss another SFR. There's so much to take away from everything, from the expo, um from the museum, even from our leaders Heidi and Orville. Like, their opening story was just amazing, because I never really heard that before. And the motivational speaker, the entertainment, all the displays, the people, the community, like, everybody's so friendly, and just the team spirit of everybody. Oh my gosh, my cup is just overflowing. And the sound bites and just every little thing. I was just so hungry to go to SFR this time, and to just try and absorb as much as I can from everything. And I'm just trying to eat that elephant one bite at a time. It's just like, whoa, I'm just trying to process everything and put things in order. And it's like, okay, where does my focus need to be now? And just wrap my head around it all. It's just, I absolutely love SFR, and all you guys are just amazing. My roommate was awesome, and just the whole time is just, my cup is overflowing.
Well, if anybody watches the replay and hears that, I don't know how they don't want to come to SFR next year. I mean, come on. So thank you, Deborah. I love that. And you're proving that you had a great time, because it was reflecting on what your customers and your friends and family were saying, because you had somebody join. So I think that's awesome. So congratulations again on that. That's great. How about you, Janelle?
Hey, well, first of all, never travel on the day you need to be somewhere. Start with that. But no, for me too, it's the community and being with everybody. Um, I love seeing the people from home office all throughout. They're always so willing to help. Like the guy, man, that one guy was so into like making sure you were standing in the right spot in front of that backdrop and holding those bricks and getting good pictures for you. Everyone's just so friendly and helpful. And then, just listening to all the speakers, it's inspirational, and the consultant speakers always have such good advice. Just stepping out of your comfort zone and thinking outside of the box are the two biggest things that I know I have to work on. So that's my goal for this season.
I love it. And then, yeah, you said the consultant speakers, a couple other people did too. Like those consultants that like got up on the big stage and talked to us during general session, and you listen to their stories and you're like, look at all they overcame, and they're
Mhm.
still here, and I mean, especially that one girl who talked about her husband getting in an accident and their struggles with infertility and all. I mean, her story was incredible. I loved her story. Um, so, and then like my friend Patty, who those of you who were in her soundbite, she talked about earning the incentive. Like she ended up getting top 50, and she was going through chemo cancer treatments throughout the incentive last year. Like now granted, I will say, she's been a consultant for what, 12 years. So she said in her speech, like, my success last year was my consistency over the past decade building my business. She never gave up, she never stopped. Like her consistency helped her earn that trip when she needed her customers to come out for her the most. So I loved that. But yeah, like anybody can do this. We just have to put our heads down, right? Okay.
Mhm.
How about you, Tay?
Sorry, I'm driving, but my biggest takeaway was I needed to hear everyone else's stories about like how they made it because I was in a rut. Everyone that was signed up underneath me never even tried. I think they just did it for the join special. And I even had my first teamie sign up while we were there because of the community, but I loved hearing everybody's stories. I needed like the push to get out of my comfort zone because I definitely was scared to ask people to join or whatever. But I absolutely loved it. Have my first teamie and she's almost sold $500 already. She's super close. So I am just excited to see where this next year goes and excited to go next year.
I love it. Awesome. That makes me so happy. And you're just like another example of you go, you're fired up, and now you have like those extra tools to get you through the season and know that you're going to be inspired because you'll think back to things that you learned at SFR, things that you saw, people you heard, and you're going to be like, okay, this is how I can apply it in my business. So I'm really proud of you for going for your first time too, and it was fun. It was fun. Okay, and I'm glad that you're safely out of the car driving. It always makes me nervous if people are driving and they're talking on the phone. I'm like, okay, don't get in an accident. All right, Michaela.
Thankfully I was just pulling into my campground.
Oh, good.
Miracle.
Hi, guys. Um, okay, so my biggest takeaway is a little different. So I've been to several SFRs now, and they're always amazing. Friendships are amazing, the community, it's all, I always look forward to it. But this time I came home with something a little bit different. Because I'm on year 4 and I feel like I've just been kind of like stuck in a like constant, I don't know, like I'm not growing. I'm not really like, my team is still doing really well. I'm still maintaining my numbers. Like things are going well, but like how do I get that uphill going? And everyone's always saying, events, talk to people more, get your name out there more. Ask people to join, ask people to do parties. And like home parties and events and things like that, like in reality, don't work for me because I'm not a very social person, to be completely honest. I'm actually a very quiet person, unless I know you really well. And this whole time, I've been like, what can I do to help me grow that's not events? It's not messaging people. It's not those certain things. So my biggest takeaway was to grow on social media in other platforms, but not by just posting Scentsy all the time, because people don't want to see it. They want to see your lifestyle. They want to see what you're up to. They want to see what you're doing. So my goal is to basically take what I learned and try to grow outside of Scentsy, which will in turn come back to meet new people and get more customers and team members. So that's the goal. That was my biggest takeaway.
And if you want to learn more about what she's talking about, follow Stacy Behringer on Instagram.
Yep, she literally just did a training about it today.
Yeah.
I just watched it today. Just literally watched it like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
I haven't watched it, but I bet it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, look at Oakley. Look at those little fat cheeks. I can't stand it. Look at her. She's so cute. I love that. Okay, so what platforms are you going to utilize?
I'm gonna try TikTok.
Okay.
Yep,
TikTok scares me.
that's the goal. Yeah, it scares me too.
I'm not,
And
I don't even have a TikTok. It just like terrifies me. I'm just like, people are always just sitting there scrolling on TikTok, and I'm like, I don't even have one.
But like it's such a perfect way to get your name out there. And then once people start following you on TikTok, they're gonna look for you on Instagram, they're gonna look for you on Facebook. And then that's when you start to sprinkle in Scentsy in there here and there because you use it. These people see that you're sharing food ideas or whatever that you love and they trust you because of those things. And then they start to see that you're posting Scentsy and oh, this girl must really like Scentsy and the stuff must smell really nice and blah blah blah. And then they buy it from you and then they join and you know
Because that's the
it's
really
a
good
domino effect.
example. That's the example of the trust factor, right? They're following you because they like your content. They want to know more about you, and then they're going to start to trust you because they trust you on following you for other things. So like they'll follow Michaela because they trust her intuition on chickens and sourdough and all the things that she does. And then when she shows the rooster warmer in the background, they're going to be like, "Oh, that's so cute. What is that? Oh, it's a Scentsy warmer. Scentsy, what does she use?" And then they've trusted her on other things. They're going to trust her on Scentsy, and then it's going to be a domino effect. You're right. I love that. I can't wait to see how that works for you and how you grow. Okay.
I will say,
Oh, go ahead.
speaking of TikTok, I have about 8 customers that are on TikTok, and they've asked to find me personally on Facebook, so they know. So they do want to know. It's not really nosy, but they want to know what's going on in your life. And those girls constantly message me every day.
All right, I need to get a TikTok, I guess. I think I have one, but I just never use it. So I'll make that a goal too. All right, Barb, how about you? You watch virtually, right?
Yeah, I haven't I haven't finished watching all of it because my schedule's been just crazy. But yes, I've been watching it and I don't know, I can't get over how everybody shares on Facebook and just everything from our group and just all the groups. I just love all the stuff that everybody's been posting. It looks like so much fun. So yeah, I'm just trying to get same thing out of my comfort zone. And like today, I go to a different place. I get like my eyebrows waxed at a different place where I get my hair done. But I asked them if I could bring in a fragrance flower. And they were really excited about that. So I brought that in today and I bought these little round circles. I mean, they're really cheap at Hobby Lobby and I printed on stickers. So on one side, I put my VIP QR code, and on the other side, I put my QR code for my order through Scentsy. And so I tied that around that and left that there. And just like I said, things like that, trying to do that because just looking at it, it's like, oh, I want this incentive trip. And at the beginning, I'm like, I'm never going to be able to do this. And now after I see the trip and everything, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this. I so want to do it. So, I mean, I'm hoping someday I'll be able to go to SFR. My work schedule, I wish they didn't do it in July. But yeah, hopefully someday I'll be able to go. I say when I retire in about 10 years, I'll be able to go. I hope not, but it's just our huge festival week and it starts last week and goes all the way through this week. So everybody's working 70 plus hours. So it's just kind of crazy. So no, like I said, just from what I've seen so far, it's just amazing. Like I said, it's just I love the how everybody gets so excited and sharing and like I said, just trying to step out of my comfort zone, grow my team. And yeah, because I keep telling everybody, I'm like, I cannot get over how great Scentsy is.
That's awesome. Have you done other direct sales in the past?
I have sold I sold gosh, now I'm have Arbonne for a little while, which love that, but hard to sell somebody a $300 package right out the gate. And then I also have done Color Street.
Okay.
And so usually I do Color Street every year. We have a big Christmas, like they call it a craft show, but you can sell whatever at the school the first week of December. And I actually switched it this year. So it'll be my first time selling Scentsy and nobody else sells Scentsy there. And they have probably 200 booths and nobody sells Scentsy.
That's the crazy part to me when I hear that stuff too, because same thing will happen around here and we can all say it's happened to us. Like we know it so well, but so many people still don't know about it. And it's just
Yeah.
crazy. But there's a ton of people who still have never even heard of it. So
Yeah.
there's no saturation in this market. We're good. There's lots of
Right.
room for people to join. So I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Glad you
Thanks.
were able to enjoy it virtually. And I love that Sensi offers that virtual option because there's a lot of people who
I
just
know.
can't get away. So I'm so thankful for it. And I think they learned after COVID and this year and how successful virtual was. I can't say for sure, but I feel like they're going to offer virtual options in the future for all SFRs. You're probably not going to get the giveaway option like you got this year. I think that was a special 20-year deal, but still being able to watch it virtually for not that much money is really awesome. So I'm glad that they
Mhm.
offered that.
Next year too, I don't know if this makes a difference, but next year it's a little bit later in July too. It's
Oh,
like
that
July
might be
28th.
okay. Yeah, I'll
What are
check
the
that out for
dates? Do you know
sure.
off the top of your head? Do you remember what they are?
Yeah, I think it's like July 28th through August 1st, maybe that week.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That last week of,
It's the 31st,
Mhm.
Yeah, the very last week of July.
okay.
28th through the 31st.
So
Yeah.
if that helps, that'd be awesome if that worked better for your schedule. Yeah, you're right. I already have it in my calendar, the 28th through the 31st. Yep. And technically, I mean, but like Janelle said, you want to fly in the day before you need to be there. But technically, for all consultants, it would be that 29, 30, and 31, and then 28th is usually typically leadership. But if you can get there Monday, that's even better. So, but I don't know what I'm talking about because we're all going to be leaders next year at SFR, right? Wouldn't that be awesome? Get a huge group of us at leadership next year. I would love it. Um, okay, cool. Thank you guys for hopping on. And does anybody else have anything they want to share? We've got about 4 minutes left, but does anybody have anything else they want to share about SFR or anything in general? Things that are working for you right now, tips, anything great?
We should make a goal as a team of how many people as a team we bring to SFR next year. So that kind of motivates each and every one of us to bring somebody.
Yeah, that'd be great. Like motivate everybody to at least bring 1 to 2 team members or something. I think that'd be cool. We had 18 this year. I feel like we had a few more in like maybe we had 20 in Charlotte and I think we had a few less this year. But yeah, I would love to have, I mean, sky's the limit. I don't even want to put a number on it, but if I could ever have like 30 people go to SFR, I would be ecstatic. I can't even imagine what that would be like. So that would be amazing. But I love that, like say a goal to at least bring 1 teammate or something next year with you. That'd be great.
The
And then
sound bite. Oh, I was
go
just
ahead.
gonna say the sound bites and the general sessions we have access to for like another 30 days.
Do
The
we have
recording.
access to all of the sound bites? So all the
Yeah.
different people who
Mhm.
talked? Okay, I need to do that then because I heard like the session 2 and 3 were also amazing.
It is.
Oh, that would
Session
be
3 I
awesome.
started really good.
Okay.
So I just also wanted to share this since Chuck just posted it in the director group about the scent circles. So he said, I have seen a couple of posts about the new scent circles and the fact that we are no longer be selling the singles. I know this has caused a bit of angst as giving them out as gifts or as fundraisers has been a part of the scent circle offering. For at least through the fall season, there will be no change to packaging, and even if slash when there is a change, we will continue to use the old packaging until they're gone. Soft roll. We are only taking away the ability to buy single circles. The teams are working on packaging, but with the goal being that each individual scent circle will be able to be given individually wrapped. For now, the packaging is not changing, just how they can be purchased.
Okay. That's good to know.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
so sad about that.
I know. I was doing the math though, because I'm like, okay, so we all like use a half off to buy a 6-pack of circles, right? Like that's what we use to get our rewards. So right now a 6-pack of circles, we have to pay retail price, so it would be 18, right? So
I think it's 15.
yeah, but that's the buy 5 get 1 free, and you know now when you do the
Oh yeah.
half offs, they're charging us retail. Like a 6-pack is a half off 36 now instead of a half off 30. Um, so I don't know if that's changing though,
The
because
price the price did go up on the scent circles as well.
it
So
did, but the retail price is 18, so it's really not changing for us, right?
they said something about the bundle being a little discounted, but I mean, you're getting 3 for 10 instead of like, what is it, like 3 for 8 right now?
So you're getting 6 for 18 in the new catalog. And right now you get 6 for 15. But I'm thinking like consultant. So if it saves
Right.
$2, so technically it would be the retail price would be $20 now for a 6-pack of scent circles.
And they can also only be, so like a 3-pack can only be 1 cent.
Right. So
And then the
it's
6-pack
gonna
is only 2 cents.
so it's gonna cost us where we were used to paying what? Because it was, sorry, I don't do well in math. So we were paying $9. So we're only paying $1 more. We were paying $9 for half off of a 6-pack, and now we'll be paying 10. Right? Am I right on that?